Welcome to the RE channel, brought to you by Space Level RE. Our mission, empowering engineers to manage space products. This video is an introduction to the book titled The Responsible Engineer. It is a foundational component of Space Level RE activities. My name is Tod Redick. Let's start off by taking a look at an engineering story. You are an engineer working for a company building space products. You are called to a mandatory meeting. Your company has recently launched a product which is now in orbit, yet initial telemetry shows it is not performing as it should, possibly jeopardizing the entire mission. The data suggests the product you are responsible for could be impacted or even part of failure root cause. Filled with anxiety, you walk through the halls heading to the meeting, your mind searching through failure possibilities. But there is one constant thought. Is this failure due to my product? Upon arriving at the meeting location, you pause at the meeting entryway, looking into a conference room with a large table in the middle and many chairs at room perimeter. With a gut-wrenching feeling, you mentally accept that you will be expected to sit at the table. You sit down, saying your hellos. Some attendees you know, some you don't, but everybody is somber. The meeting begins. The telemetry and situation are discussed, during which you and others are asking or being asked questions. That exchange translates into more questions and action items which you will need to respond to in a short time. You depart the meeting discouraged, not just because you know this product failure will have multiple negative impacts to the company, but because you have been in this situation before, and you also know the detrimental consequences that it'll bring to your personal life. In general, engineers take their product and responsibilities personal. This yucky feeling and worry will be with you 24/7 until the problem is hopefully understood and resolved. That could be for weeks, months, or even years. The situation is not some made-up dramatic engineering tale. It is reality, and I've exactly experienced this one and similar ones more than once. It is our first lesson, which makes a fundamental initial point. The engineer responsible for a product is always contacted if a failure occurs in which your product might be considered root cause or even related to failure mechanisms. And of course it is that way. Who else would or should be best equipped to answer product questions and investigate? Yet, unfortunately, I and other engineers have witnessed and endured companies whose quality systems and cultures do not adequately empower the engineers for product success. That situation directly puts the company's survival at risk. This story is not meant to scare engineers. Being an engineer and then being given responsibility for a product is an honor and a privilege. Therefore, should be embraced that way. But the companies must support success of our responsibilities. This particular product failure scenario and its lessons are just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to product, company, and career success, but it does begin to reveal what Space Level RE is about and why our mission statement is empowering engineers to manage space products. And that is what the book is about. It uses empirical data, experiences, and resources, all of which continually and naturally reinforce that mission. This product failure scenario is the book's case study 1. Its failure mechanism was eventually linked to over $400 million of lost product of loan. The RE channel also contains a video titled Case Study 2 that was a multi-year investigation affecting numerous satellites. Though painfully enduring, its lessons are quite fascinating. It would be a good next video to watch for interested viewers. I have spent over 30 years in various engineering and management roles, much of which were in the space products industry. There, I experienced product failures and how difficult it is to consistently run profitable operations. Though all those experiences are important to the book's overall message, a key component is having participated in multiple investigations due to product failures on high-power geosynchronous communication satellites. Having had key roles and detailed knowledge of those investigations provided me a unique, comprehensive perspective, both technically and managerially, of deficiencies or risks that go beyond the per-incident root cause findings. The book cannot go into the technical details of the investigations, but it can clearly show that the engineer responsible for the product is the best person, possibly the only person, to effectively identify risks and manage the product. That is because as a starter, an in-depth knowledge of requirements and manufacturing, inclusive of the supply chain, is necessary. Here is a general roadmap of the book content. Due to their importance, the book begins with the case studies, which are the investigations previously mentioned. Recognizing their lessons is essential for understanding and appreciating the remaining contents of the book. They all support the previously stated lesson, which is that the responsible engineer, or RE, is or should be central to product design and management. But they also reveal, among other things, 2 related, possibly considered unique, reinforcing lessons. They are: 1, changes to product are inevitable, which introduce risk of product failure. Those changes might be planned, such as in a requirement change, or unplanned, for example, somewhere in the supply chain. 2, failure mechanisms are often multivariable, meaning it took more than one change or risk for the failure to occur. The roadmap then shows a system named REVAS, which we engineers designed and successfully utilized in response to recognizing we were regularly in reactionary and success challenge situations. It is an RE-centric proactive system to identify risk and manage the product. This system and mentality were key in solving and preventing product issues. But just as importantly, it continuously improves the RE and associated stakeholders such as technicians, vendors, and the overall supply chain. With that foundation, it goes on to show an overview of quality management systems, or QMS, and standards, showing examples and resources. 2 of the organizations it focuses on are the International Organization of Standards, or ISO, and then International Aerospace Quality Group, or IAQG. ISO because it is the world's leading organization for creation and usage of standards. Then IAQG due to its standards which focus on aerospace, defense, and space products. When researching these renowned organizations, I realized that many of their pursuits were common to our own, which were derived independently from our own engineering and management experiences. that was certainly encouraging, but it was also recognized that organizations can be certified to a well-known standard, in particular a QMS, but that the QMS is not adequately designed to correctly identify risk or support key resources, therefore leaving significant risk in product realization and ongoing product manufacturing. The book then takes a look at the creation and content of an American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, or AIAA, standard. In particular, AIAA 112A, which is for the qualification and quality requirements for electrical components on space solar panels. I was on the committee that wrote this standard, hence have a unique inside perspective. That content will give an appreciation of the background work, expertise needed, difficulties, and compromises when creating a standard, but overall shows the high value standards bring to the industry. This material is more technical than most book content, but it was necessary to show how spacecraft requirements, part qualifications, product realization, and then ongoing manufacturings are intimately linked. Again, reinforcing the necessity of ongoing RE involvement. There are also numerous references to configuration management and project management, since they are considered essential components of product success. With that in mind, the book introduces two related tools called Design for Six Sigma, or DFSS, which is for product development, and then Lean Six Sigma, or LSS, which is for ongoing manufacturing. Their primary goals are reducing waste and product variance. Then there is a chapter on the satellite market and business considerations. It is presently strong and predicted to remain so. But it is also transitioning from more government-influenced and specialized industry, where profits and schedules might not have been primary objective, to a private, commercialized, common product industry, where survivability will depend on profits. It is difficult to maintain continuous profits. Therefore, optimized resources and product reliability, which are results of our material, must be part of a company's primary objective and structure. Scattered throughout the book are a variety of lessons learned over the years related to both engineering and management. Some examples include the value of RE involvement, difficulties of change, employee interactions, hiring considerations, or other risks when the RE is not an expert. It also includes an appreciation of various perspectives, such as, for example, the mental burden and difficult choices upper management bears when profits are a direct responsibility. Then, considering all previous material, the book concludes with the chapter advocating for the creation of a standard specifically designed for the RE to successfully manage the product and assigned responsibilities. It outlines a variety of skills which are suggested based requirements, along with numerous other skills that could be evaluated for inclusion. Though Space Level RE will grow in material and directions, the book The Responsible Engineer will almost certainly remain our central foundational components. Embracing its philosophy and properly utilizing the tools presented has many benefits. Some examples include a company culture which is empowered and focused and positive. Key resources are optimized. It creates a quality management system which is properly structured and inclusive of all stakeholders, including the supply chain and technicians. It promotes customer confidence not only in the parts, but the engineers responsible for the parts. I can confidently say that engineers and companies with these skills and credentials will have a significant advantage over those that do not. The book is available on Amazon. Just type The Responsible Engineer, Tod Redick in Amazon's search bar. That will take you to the book. If viewer would like to learn more about the book, there is a free way to view some significant content. Go to the bottom left of the screen. Here under the book, there is a read sample link. Click on this to view the first 39 pages of the book. That is enough to see book content, introduction, and book overview. Besides the book, Space Level RE will be utilizing other ways and material to share our experiences and tools or provide assistance, all of which naturally continue to show why our mission statement is empowering engineers to manage space products. Besides this video, there are or will be other videos here on the RE channel, such as, for example, Space Level RE Introduction. That video will give the viewer a good initial understanding of Space Level RE goals and activities. And then there is Case Study 2. Though all the book case studies reveal interesting and useful lessons, Case Study 2 was chosen because it clearly shows some foundational lessons. It really is a must-see to recognize the need of RE ongoing involvement. We also offer personal interaction or consulting. Here is Space Level RE's website and email address. This concludes the Responsible Engineer introduction video. Have a great day.